Now we are going to solve these inequalities the same way that we do equations. So my first step I notice for number 1 is I need to do the distributive property. Half of 4x is 2x. Half of negative 12 is negative 6. I drop down everything else that I have not touched. Now I notice that I have x's on both sides of my inequality sign, so I'm going to move my right x to the left. The opposite of a positive 6x is negative 6x. My 6 and x's cancel, and on the left I have 2x minus 6x, which is negative 4x. Minus 6, my inequality sign, and then 6. I want the x to stay, so I'm going to get rid of the negative 6 by adding 6. My 6's cancel, left with 4x is less than 12. My final step is to get rid of the times by negative 4. The opposite of times by negative 4 is divide by negative 4. I do that to both sides. So I'm left with x. But remember, when I divide or multiply by a negative number, my inequality sign flips. 12 divided by negative 4 is negative 3. Now the final step is to graph your solution. So I'm going to put negative 3 on my graph. It is just a less than sign, so it is open. It is not included. And then if I were to make it look like an arrow, my arrow is pointing to the right. So my arrow is going to the right. In number 2, there is no distributive property, but I notice that I have m's on both sides, negative 5m and negative 2m. So I'm just going to read those. Negative 5m minus 2m, which gives me negative 7m. And I drop down the minus 30 is greater than 19. I want the m to stay, so I get rid of negative 30 by adding 30 to both sides. My 30's will cancel, and I'm left with negative 7m is greater than 49. My final step is to get rid of the times by negative 7, so I'm going to divide by negative 7 to both sides. Remember, whenever I divide by a negative, I flip my sign. 49 divided by negative 7 is negative 7. Now my final step is to graph this. It is an open circle because it is not included, and I shade to the left because it is less than.